They say El Mencho is alive now. A new string of murders, ritualistic, filmed, and deliberate, has exploded online. 6 girls were executed, and the style and brutality of it all match his signature. He's back. But why now? And what for? Let's get into it. The murders that weren't supposed to be seen, the massacre that changed everything. There are some crimes so horrifying, so brazenly orchestrated that they were never meant for public eyes, yet still end up online. What happened on a quiet back road in Michoacan should have been another ghost crime by the Jalisco New Generation cartel. Quick, brutal, buried. But instead, it exploded across the internet like a firebomb. 6 dismembered bodies, all of them teenage girls, dumped in the middle of a village marketplace. And then came the footage, grainy, uncut, filmed on a cell phone by a cartel soldier and somehow leaked. The girls were kneeling, their faces swollen. Some had their school uniforms on. This wasn't just another message from El Mencho. It was a ritual execution, and it was broadcast like a snuff film. Who is El Mencho? At the center of this storm is Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known worldwide as El Mencho, the shadowy leader of CJNG, the Jalisco New Generation cartel, now considered the most powerful drug empire in Mexico. And the question nobody can answer: why were these girls targeted at all? Because what's about to unravel isn't just a murder case. It's a blueprint, a literal manual of how cartels are evolving into hybrid military corporate entities. The execution video, a chilling reality. There is something uniquely horrifying about watching someone walk into their death while believing they might be spared. That's what makes the latest CJNG murder clip so disturbing. 3 girls visibly shivering. One of them blurts out, "Somos inocentes. We are innocent." 2 cartel men, off-camera, reply, "We'll see." According to Mexican digital forensics site Contralinea, the leaked video originated from a CJNG training camp in Aguila, Michoacan. That's just 45 minutes outside where the next FIFA World Cup match will be played. A global symbol of peace and unity, standing dangerously close to the most terrifying terror site in Mexico. They call it El Rancho del Silencio. Locals call it the Auschwitz of Michoacan, the cartel boot camp for child soldiers. The name comes from something found in the dirt: shoes, hundreds of them buried in rows. At first, reporters thought they'd found a mass grave. But insiders now say what they uncovered was something far worse: a cartel boot camp for child soldiers. In a chilling interview, Johnny Mitchell, a podcaster and former cartel associate, revealed how CJNG recruiters target 6-year-olds on TikTok. They always have to train up new people, okay? They're always training up new recruits, and these are like 6-year-olds usually, okay, who they recruit on TikTok. That's how these girls ended up there. Lured with promises of money, prestige. Some were allegedly told they'd be working in hospital logistics for CJNG, a euphemism for call centers used to track enemies via fake emergency hotlines. Then they were stripped, their phones taken, their bodies cataloged and tested. They drug test everybody, Mitchell says. They take DNA samples like you're applying for Goldman Sachs. This isn't street-level crime anymore. This is corporate warfare. Mexican style. The viral spread and American connection. The footage spread faster than any cartel video in recent memory. Reddit, Telegram, TikTok, even clips on X reached 4 million views in a day. One of the reasons: the presence of an alleged American voice in the background of the execution video. It was barely audible, blurred under the sounds of a drone, but users online swear they heard a gringo accent. Confirm she's the informant, finish the loop, and just like that, the internet caught fire with a horrifying theory. The girls were mistakenly killed because one of them was suspected of leaking cartel drone data to the DEA. This claim hasn't been confirmed, but it lines up disturbingly well with what CJNG operatives have confessed to in interviews. This is modern warfare. We use war technologies. We use drones. Is El Mencho still alive? Let's back up. Who is El Mencho, and why does it matter if he's still alive? To understand the cartel's latest murders, you need to understand the phantom at the center of it all. The man the DEA once called the most dangerous drug lord in the world, yet hasn't been seen in public for nearly 5 years. In 2021, reports emerged that El Mencho had died from kidney failure. Others said he'd faked his death to live out his life on a private estate somewhere in Guatemala. But then something strange happened. Weeks after the execution video went viral, a private encrypted message was sent to reporters in Jalisco. The message read, "We do not target innocents. This was justice." The command came from the top and it was signed NOC, the same initials used by Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes. If El Mencho is alive and he ordered this, then this wasn't just about punishing a snitch. It was about announcing a return. The military precision of modern cartels. The brutality of CJNG isn't new, but what's different now is the precision. These killings aren't random. They're not done out of rage. They're executed with military efficiency. According to a Proceso investigation, Mexican military police seized a set of training materials from a CJNG compound in Guerrero earlier this year. Inside were printed guides, diagrams, and most disturbingly, video modules labeled, "How to Instill Fear." From Nelson Commandery's bold bid to carve out an independent drug empire that clashed head-on with the Mexican mafia, to daring heists of cocaine from rivals in Nicaraguan waters. These cases show the chaos that unfolds when criminal ambition outruns capability. Unlike typical gang leaders, Comandari came from a powerful political family. His grandfather was Colonel Agustín Martínez Varela, a powerful right-wing figure and former interior minister in El Salvador. The digital war machine. Each tape depicted different types of executions. Public, private, symbolic, quick kills, drawn-out ones. It wasn't random. Each had a purpose. One section of the guide reportedly categorized civilians into threat tiers. Tier 1 included rival cartel members. Tier 2, community leaders, social media influencers, journalists. And Tier 3, teenagers with reach. Why? Because a teenage TikTok star with 100,000 followers represents a risk if they mock CJNG. Several influencers have already vanished, some rumored to have been abducted from malls in Guadalajara and Zapopan. Their bodies never recovered. Their last posts all disappeared. But one of them, one 7-year-old Marisol B., who vanished after uploading a skit about Mencho hiding in a hospital, left behind a chilling voice note sent to her cousin. They said, "I need to come to a meeting. I didn't even tag them. I swear I didn't mean anything. Tell Mama I'll be home by 9. She never came home." The propaganda department. Journalists at Insight Crime recently obtained encrypted chat logs from an internal CJNG Telegram group. The contents show the cartel isn't just punishing dissent. They're recruiting media managers. This isn't gangsterism. This is a full-blown propaganda department. And they've gotten so advanced, they even create decoy videos, showing members helping old ladies with groceries or handing out toys, using them to crowd out the brutality in search algorithms. Remember when the Taliban got verified on Twitter? CJNG has influencer coordinators, and one of them, known online only as Babe PR, was just exposed by an independent security researcher on X for running a cartel-funded YouTube Shorts channel. Weaponized technology. CJNG's evolution into a digital war machine didn't happen overnight. It began with drones. This is modern warfare. We use war technologies. We use drones. These drones, first used for surveillance, are now weaponized. According to Vice News reports, CJNG has outfitted quadcopters with homemade bombs rigged with smartphone timers and facial recognition apps. But the drones are just part of it. They also test recruits on camera. One source, interviewed by journalist Ioan Grillo, said that part of CJNG's vetting involves uploading fake scenarios on TikTok and gauging who engages, shares, or comments. It's a form of algorithmic loyalty testing. The evolution, from gang to military. Comandari's vision was revolutionary. Rather than continuing MS-13's traditional role as low-level enforcers, he envisioned utilizing MS-13's widespread cliques for smuggling and distribution, primarily of heroin, cocaine, crack cocaine, crystal methamphetamine, and marijuana. He rose to prominence as the leader of MS-13's Los Angeles faction, earning the moniker the CEO of Mara Salvatrucha for his strategic vision and ability to impose discipline. Female soldiers, a new frontier. In the older narco world, women were mostly used for logistics, laundering, or relationships. That's changed. CJNG has now opened the door to female soldiers, but not voluntarily. A 2023 investigation by Millennial revealed that young women are now forced into roles ranging from tech support to bait. Some are trained in firearm assembly, others in interrogation, and some are trained in silent filming. That is, how to record executions without breathing, moving, or interrupting. They're forced to hold the camera, watch, film, then edit. If they flinch, they're next. One former associate described it as death by internship. The work is unpaid, the risk's terminal, and when they're no longer useful, they disappear. just like the 6 girls in Michoacan. The Ghost General returns. Here's what a high-level drug distributor once closely tied to El Chapo said. "We were arrested by the Mexican government, and he was sent to rescue us. He showed up himself with 60 to 70 armed cartel members. That was in 2007. Now, fast forward to 2024. And that same man says this. No, I believe that he's still alive. I think that those conflicted reports are just because he's been suffering from some sickness. And just me understanding that world, I do believe that if he would have passed, his son probably would have cooperated and tried to save his own ass. That's the key. If El Mencho were dead, his son El Menchito would likely flip to secure immunity or protection. But that hasn't happened. And even more telling, in the past year alone, over 200 CJNG killings have occurred under the same signature style. Video, message, symbolism, and no deviation from protocol. It's as if the same hand is still scripting everything. A ghost, a general in exile, or a man who never left. Conclusion. A strategy, not just violence. You might think this is just another cartel horror story. It's not. Because for the first time, a Mexican cartel is weaponizing the same tools used by influencers, marketers, and political campaigns. They know how to control perception. They know how to trend. They know how to disappear news cycles. And the murders, they're not just for power. They're for likes. Every bullet, every video, every dead girl, it's part of a strategy. Not to destroy the government, but to replace it in the minds of people too scared to question authority and too exhausted to hope for help. If CJNG is this advanced now, what will they look like by 2025? The Ghost General and the governments that helped him continue to operate in the shadows, while the truth becomes harder and harder to hide. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.